don't even got a f***ing house to wash your ass. And then you talking shit about me, shut the f*** up. Don't even got a f***ing car to drive. And you talking shit about me, shut the f*** up.
Even like with my children, love my children. All four of my children are adults. And I told them, listen, no more handouts. No more hands. It can't be.
Floyd Mayweather's daughter is speaking out after claims that her father stopped giving her money, reportedly leaving her to face criticism for depending on her parents financially. She insists that receiving financial support from your own parents is nothing she should feel embarrassed about, while claiming that Floyd stopped providing money because he has allegedly run out of cash.
Are you mad? Wouldn't you want the... I want the same thing for my son. I don't want him to ever have to work. Why does that bother him so much? And why is that always being thrown in my face like that's such a bad thing? That's not a bad...
Floyd Mayweather Jr. recently discussed how he handles financial support for his children during a podcast appearance, saying that he cannot keep giving them money every time they request it. Based on his comments, he wants his children to build financial independence instead of depending on the wealth and success he created.
Money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back, I need money, I give them money, I buy them houses, I buy them cars. Told them, listen, from here on out, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business, and I'll put the money up to help you start a business, but I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that. And then I need my grandchildren to come behind you guys and do this.
After Floyd reportedly ended her allowance, Yaya Mayweather created discussion by saying she would like to experience what life is like with a normal 9-to-5 job. Still, critics quickly questioned whether she could truly manage the pressure and responsibilities of an ordinary workplace after growing up with privilege and a luxurious lifestyle.
In the story about Yaya Mayweather, right? So Yaya Mayweather is the daughter of Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
Obviously, Floyd Mayweather, a world-time iconic boxer, made $1 billion in his lifetime. Money Team.
Come on.
I seen her and I was kind of torn. At first, everybody was like going at her, ha, oh my God, y'all going broke. But I'm like,
never.
You know, I wasn't really mad at what she was saying. So basically, she was saying, lately, I've been bored. So bored, I was thinking about getting a job just for the fun of it.
Just for the fun.
Now, for full context, she's been rich her whole life.
Oh, yeah, she's a Nepo baby. She's
a Nepo.
She is the example of what it looks like to just only know lavish, only know luxury, only know the finest of the finest.
And then her dad is Floyd, so all he do is, like, he got floss, he got 100 cars, he got all of this, they fly on private jets.
Right.
So her whole life is luxury, and she probably has never had to struggle or had any type of adversity. She don't know, and she can't relate to anybody. This is probably why she can't create no products or services to monetize her startup. She really.
Critics have also questioned whether Yaya Mayweather fully understands money management after being raised with Floyd Mayweather's wealth. They say having constant access to money does not necessarily mean someone knows how to handle it properly. Budgeting, saving, and investing are important skills, and without them, even a huge fortune can disappear quickly. The debate also points toward a wider issue among wealthy families, suggesting that many second-generation heirs eventually lose inherited money. This is often linked to poor financial education or childhoods that encourage entitlement instead of discipline.
What's up? These little girls don't know how to do nothing. And she's sitting online talking about, I'm bored. And y'all can say, well, her daddy rich, but like, well, what if something happens to her father? Oh, we got trust funds. Okay, cool. He may have trust funds. But does she know how to budget money? Does she know how to make money? Does she know the value of money? That empire, that estate is going to be gone. And statistics show that 85% of second wealth generators from their parents go broke because they don't understand how to manage it, which means there's a few reasons. Either we spent too much time making it, we didn't have time to educate our kids on it, and so we just gave them everything. Or two, they just don't give a damn. They just entitled, spoiled.
Yaya Mayweather has repeatedly rejected comparisons between her lifestyle and the lives of everyday people, explaining that her situation is simply not the same. As the daughter of boxing icon Floyd Mayweather Jr., she was raised around wealth, luxury, and opportunities that most people never receive. Because of her unique upbringing, Yaya has argued that judging her by identical standards or expectations as someone from a completely different financial background is unfair.
Have to stop. Literally. Y'all have to stop comparing me, and even the people that y'all comparing me to, they have to stop. Okay? Comparing themselves to me. Because listen, y'all have to stop comparing me to people who wear fake designer stuff, okay? Let's start there. Who wear fake designer stuff. Baby, I'm walking into designer stores, Neiman Saks to get my stuff. They're not. They're getting these from these little boutiques, whatever. Let's start there. Now, then we're gonna go to stop comparing me to people who rent exotic cars, foreign cars. Baby, every car I drive, best believe, is paid for. It's not rented. Paid for. In my last name.
With Yaya standing by her right to receive financial support from her parents, speculation about Floyd's financial problems has grown even stronger. As Desiree posted on X, Floyd Mayweather filed a lawsuit earlier this year, accusing a former trusted associate of allegedly scamming him out of around $175 million. He claims money was diverted over several years. Jewelry deals involved $100 million worth of pieces being pledged for only around $13 million. A private jet disappeared, and real estate deals failed to benefit him. The situation appears increasingly serious as more details emerge. The post continued, "The other side says the accusations are baseless and blames his spending habits instead. Some believe he simply spent everything. Others think the financial damage could motivate him to return to boxing. Perhaps even the long-discussed exhibition with Mike Tyson could happen to bring in more money. Either way, after spending decades as Money Mayweather and earning more than $1 billion, seeing that fortune shrink must hurt." According to the lawsuit, Mayweather says his former associate Jonah Renitz slowly took control of major parts of his business and finances. Mayweather alleges that Renitz presented himself as a trusted advisor while managing important financial matters for years.
Floyd Mayweather, let's go. So now he has filed a $175 million lawsuit against his business partner, Jonah Renitz. So the name should be familiar to you. He has been described as Floyd Mayweather's right-hand man for decades. Also, he has been named in several lawsuits with Floyd for them being involved in scams themselves. The lawsuits include allegations for fake exhibition fights, allegations for unpaid jet bills, unpaid jewelry, unpaid services provided. But in turn, now Floyd is suing him and saying, hey, I never saw this stuff. You have scammed me out of jewelry. You have scammed me out of money. You've scammed me out of real estate. And so this is a big, massive lawsuit, guys. What's also interesting is Floyd has had an interesting support for the Israel community. Jonah Renitz is a member of a prominent Jewish Orthodox family. I'm curious if he's going to continue to have the same set support. I'm also curious to say if he's going to prevail in the other lawsuits. Is this a way for him to get out of it? Or
Dana White has commented on the reports about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s legal and financial problems, even suggesting that he could potentially offer assistance to the boxing icon, saying, "When somebody works as hard as he did and builds the kind of wealth that he had, and they lose it or it gets stolen or whatever happened, it's terrible." The latest lawsuit reportedly contains accusations involving stolen funds, fraudulent investments, unauthorized bank transfers, missing jewelry, and the alleged sale of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s private aircraft.
Probably the richest and one of the most dominant boxers in the history of the sport. But now Floyd is stepping into the courtroom to fight for money he claims that he was never paid, and he wants justice on his terms. So let's talk details. Let me tell you about.
At the same time, Floyd Mayweather Jr. has reportedly entered another legal battle, this one involving Showtime and his longtime advisor, Al Heyman. The boxing superstar is accusing the parties of financial wrongdoing and allegedly mishandling funds tied to different business agreements. Based on the allegations, Mayweather believes millions of dollars were improperly managed or withheld through deals connected to his boxing career and wider business interests.
Mayweather filed a lawsuit in California against Showtime Networks and Steven Espinoza, claiming they helped his former advisor, Al Heyman, misappropriate a huge chunk of his fight earnings to the tune of $340 million. Mayweather says the money is still missing and unaccounted for, and he's now suing Showtime and Espinoza for aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty, civil conspiracy to commit fraud. Ooh, that's a serious accusation there. Conversion, unjust enrichment, and he's seeking punitive damage on top of the missing $340 million. So why is Floyd suing and what is he claiming? Well, Floyd argues that during his legendary career, where he generated $1 billion in revenue plus and pay-per-view money, a significant portion of the funds that he made through those events, through his fights, didn't make it into his hands because they were funneled through accounts controlled by his then advisor.
Steven Espinoza, the former president of Showtime, has also responded to the accusations.
Yeah, look, I can't say too much about it. The lawyers have asked me not to, but, obviously Floyd is looking for $340 million, which he, I think, supposedly discovered 10 years later is missing. I think you can tell by my tone what my thoughts are about that. And look, all I can say is like, I'm confident in the legal process. I'm confident about, what the facts are going to show. And I look forward to this, playing out in court so everybody can see exactly what is true, and exactly what, where the money went. Because if you look at the, how my career has played out, I spent my career going back to representing both Mike Tyson and Oscar De La Hoya. I've spent my career making sure that fighters are treated fairly and have gotten compensated fairly. And I've never done anything, but that. And I think at the administration that I ran at Showtime was one that was very fighter friendly, and I stand by that. And I know my reputation will continue to be.
Veteran analyst Teddy Atlas pointed out that former Showtime executive Steven Espinoza was also included in Floyd's lawsuit. Atlas acknowledged that he had never liked Espinoza and claimed that many fighters were not always paid fairly in boxing business agreements. Teddy Atlas also said some people believe Floyd Mayweather Jr. is turning to lawsuits because his massive spending and constant demand for money may have created financial strain behind the scenes.
I don't know what the truth is fully in there. I know Steven Espinoza was named. He ran Showtime at the time. He was named him. I never was a fan of Espinoza. Again, I'm not afraid to say and not mince my words when I feel a certain way. And I've taken arrows for it. And of course, I've also taken some praise for it. That people say, hey, Teddy's going to say what he feels. I was never a fan of him. I never thought he was a man that kept his word. I never thought he really did a great job over at Showtime. I mean, they put some good fights on because the fights were available, because the landscape made it available. Where there was, there was a lot of job shortages in the business, if you will, and people are eager, of course, to fight on a platform like Showtime if you're going to pay them. It's a lot of fighters available, and you didn't have to be talented to put on good fights at Showtimes. Like I said, there weren't a lot of places to go. There was a lot of unemployment. There were not a million places to go and get paid. So if there was a place, boom, there was a line of people waiting to get into.
Former ESPN writer Jason Whitlock has alleged that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has spent enormous amounts of money trying to stay relatable and compete with celebrity culture. Whitlock argued that Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle could have played a role in his financial difficulties, possibly putting him into debt. He also claimed that the boxing legend might be thinking about returning from retirement to handle his financial responsibilities and pay back money he may owe.
Mayweather is an example of the stupidity of living for the culture and trying to be relatable and trying to be this incredible icon or example of, look how much money I've made. He's blown it all, And now at 49 years old, he's got to go back into the boxing ring and continue to fight because he's in a lot of debt. And this is what I was trying to make the point to Cam Newton about. This whole, I'm doing it for the culture. What has doing it for the culture ever gotten any?
Although Floyd Mayweather Jr. earned more money than almost any boxer in history, questions about his finances have increased after years of heavy spending. Famous for luxury vehicles, costly jewelry, private planes, expensive properties, and an extravagant public lifestyle, Mayweather has made his image all about money. However, critics say sustaining that lifestyle can cost an enormous amount, even for someone who earned hundreds of millions during his career. Reports and allegations of financial trouble have sparked a larger discussion about how quickly massive wealth can vanish when spending remains unchecked. Without careful planning, smart investments, and controlled expenses, even an enormous fortune can eventually face serious financial pressure.
Amount of money, money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he got to be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where it shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up. You know,
all the money. You got to show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car. And look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.